2025. We do have a public hearing, so we'll begin our meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance. Ed, could you lead us in the pledge, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, Patrick Halpin.
Present.
Julianne Nolan. Gerald O'Neill.
Present.
Edward Wynn.
Present.
Daniel Chukan.
Present.
Frank Santos. Greg Gaxiola. Matt Esposito. Rich Casey. Zip.
Okay, we have a quorum.
Yes.
Very good. Before we start the public hearing, need to read the statement into the record. The planning board shall have the right to rely on any information that is being presented by the applicant. If any such information is later found to be inaccurate or incorrect, the planning board may determine that any approvals, building permits, or other actions previously granted in connection with the application are null and void. Okay, who's here on behalf of the applicant? But first, let's hold it. I want you to announce the hearing. Okay, we'll get it together.
A is public hearing, site plan review, job 2325A, Khalid Enterprises, Inc., purposes to demolish the existing one-story building in order to construct a new 4,437 square foot building footprint, two-story building with basement for medical use.
Okay, who's here on behalf of the applicant?
The applicant, Joseph Costantino and Costantino, 632 Montauk Highway, Copig, New York. I also have present Brian Fisher, the architect, and Dr. Nori.
Okay. Have you had the opportunity to review the memo from Denise Graziano, the Commissioner of Planning, dated April 8th with your client, April 2025?
Yes, I have.
Are there any issues, any concerns, anything that you'd like to bring to our attention regarding anything in this memo, but in particular any of the conditions or restrictions or covenants?
Not at this time, Mr. Chairman. I believe Mr. Fisher will address some of the concerns with regard to groundwater. I know there's some questions about that.
Well, I'm talking about the conditions and the restrictions. Are there any objections?
Not at this time, no.
Well, when
I don't have any objections.
What time will there be?
I don't have any objections.
Well, what about your client? Does your client have any objections?
No.
Okay. Thank you. We just need to get that on the record,
Okay.
that you have no objections to any of the conditions.
No, sir.
And covenants that are outlined in here. So I'm not giving you a hard time. It's just
No,
part of
I
our
know.
process. All right.
I'm used to it.
Please proceed.
Yes, good evening, Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen of the board. My name is Joseph Costantino. I represent the applicant tonight, Khalid Enterprises, Inc. The application before you, as was stated, is to demolish an existing building, which is located on the northeast corner of Poplar Street and Deer Park Avenue in North Babylon, New York, and construct a brand new medical office building. The property is zoned E-business. On the north and east side of the property, it's zoned C residence, and there are residential properties there. The neighboring parcel in the southeast corner of Poplar and Deer Park Avenue is E-business, and it's utilized.
Slow down. We're looking at the
Okay.
Street view as you're talking. So
Okay.
Take your time.
Sure.
Go ahead.
As I said, the property on the west side of Deer Park Avenue is E-business. It's also utilized as office space. The site plan before you, the total area, square footage is 43,850.
Hold on, Matt, you're getting me dizzy, moving this thing around like this. Sorry. Was I the only one? Okay, good. All right, go ahead. Sorry.
No problem.
Please proceed.
The site plan shows a total lot area, total square footage of 43,855 square feet. The proposed building is approximately 4,400 square feet, so we're well within the requirements of the E-business district with regard to percentages of lot size. There is, I believe if you look at the site plan, I believe Mr. Esposito has it up, there are no requirements for any variances, no side yard variances, no front yard variances, no area variances. The building itself is going to be a proposed two-story building with a basement. The building height is 35 feet, which meets the criteria under the E-business zoning. Building is required to be 35 feet. The proposed use of the building is to be a private medical office. It will consist of internal medicine, podiatry, and cardiology. It will not be a clinic. There will be no surgery or any type of procedures done at the facility. The basic business plan of Long Island Comprehensive, which is the group that will be occupying the premises, is basically a patient comes in, they're seen, their demographics are taken, their triage, their vitals are taken, and then they're given to the appropriate medical provider. Medical provider sees the patient and then recommends either follow-up treatment or a prescription, etc. There is a proposal to be a pharmacy at the facility, which would be for patients only. It would not be a, quote, public pharmacy, but that's something that could be open for discussion. The parking that's proposed, I believe, meets the criteria. There are 82 spaces that are required, and 82 spaces are provided on the site plan. There will be 17 employee parking spots. It would consist of 6 doctors, 6 medical assistants, 1 for each doctor, an office manager, 2 front desk receptionists, and again, if there is a pharmacy, there would be 1 pharmacist at the facility. So 17 spots, they would be designated as employee parking and would not interfere with anyone else parking at the facility. The premises, from an environmental perspective, is proposed to be connected to the Carls River Watershed Sewer Project, which, of course, would come sometime down the line. There are some exam rooms. There are different rooms. There's office space. There's storage, which is all set forth on the site plan. The initial design of the building was going to be commercial. It was going to look like a commercial building. However, due to the residential nature of the adjoining properties, they designed it more for a residential look. It has peaked roofs, looks like more residential windows, so it kind of conforms better with the surrounding neighborhood. And based upon that, we would, open up the board if they have any questions.
Okay, do any of the board members have any questions regarding this application? You mentioned it, and I want to bring this up, environmental is concerned about the groundwater table and the basement, and have they talked to you about reducing the basement height to 9.5 feet?
Yes, if I may, can I have Mr. Fisher answer that question, please, Mr. Halpin?
Please. Sir, could you please state your name and address for the record?
Brian Fisher, architect, 80 Sherwood Avenue, Farmingdale, New York.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, please proceed.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. On the groundwater issue, the original floor-to-floor height from the first floor to the basement, top of the floor, was 10 feet. We brought it 9 inches closer. And I had discussions with my engineer, who's very knowledgeable in water design, and he's done extensive work for house lifts all along the South Shore, Nassau, Queens, New York City. So he's very well aware of what this issue was when I spoke to him about it. So we pulled out the map of the FEMA map that showed the groundwater, and that spot was 17 feet down to water. Our test boring came at 13 point something feet. So we use that as where we started from, which is more conservative, which is about 4 feet closer to that water. So we feel that we're okay with where the groundwater is. The rule of thumb, he mentioned that you want to stay at least 3 feet above it. The FEMA map shows a range of 12 to 20 feet. So we're still above all that. It's not near the coast where there's always water flowing up and down, so we're pretty inland on that. Also, if you take those numbers, so if we were 5.6 feet from the water to the floor. So if you use the FEMA map, we're almost 9 feet. We're confident that we're in a safe place for that. And if engineering wants to, discuss further, we can take some design measures to mitigate the water as far as installing a extra heavy duty vapor barrier, not just laying it on underneath the slab. This vapor barrier would go into the wall footing, so it's kind of encased there, 5 times thicker than that. Than a normal vapor barrier. We can increase the thickness of the slab. Usually a slab is 4. We'll make that 6 inches thick. And then we could do other things that would be, it's called a chemical treatment, which is Zypex, which is an additive in the concrete that's in the mix. It's not painted on, it's not put on after, it goes in the batch plant. It gets put in there, and it essentially, the manufacturer boasts that it's waterproof. So I can provide that it would be waterproof. So since it would be waterproof, we can also do additional things that another measure, we could do dewatering. You know, these have been tried in other places. As far as the Zypex goes, back to that, it was used in, bridges, tunnels, sewage treatment plants. This is a simple building foundation. So that's proven that this chemical additive in the concrete will be working. Also, on the dewatering, we can do some pumps in the corners, pitch the slab to that, have a center drain to release any hydrostatic pressure should it come up. There's water detection alarms that we can do. That's common. We can put those in. Where they're there all the time. So it's not like it's going to also, all of a sudden come in there. We'll be there to manage this. And we just feel we're safe in a safe distance from the high water.
Hold on, I just want to ask
Mr. Fisher, number one, Mr. Fisher, the commissioner's memo on page 1 indicates that the Department of Environmental Control has deemed that this basement, the location and the height of it, may be problematic. And the question, I think, earlier from the chairman was whether this basement could be reduced to 9.5 feet. The technical issues can be addressed between you, engineering, and the Department of Environmental Control. But the question for the applicant was whether they could reduce that basement. And I'll let our environmental expert, Mr. Gaxiola, expand on that thought a little bit more.
Yes, if I may. Based on a submitted test board dated February 15, 2023, and historical groundwater data, we do believe that this proposed basement is likely to be problematic. We would like to discuss further with the applicant if we could make that reduction. Is the applicant willing or?
Yes, actually, the plan, it is 9'6" now. It is 9'6".
So due to historical groundwater data, we average the groundwater to be at 11 feet. We would like the applicant to make a reduction of 6 inches if possible.
From 10 feet to 9'6"?
From 9.6 to 9 feet.
We can look at that. We can look into that. We'd have to sort of tighten up our structural floor because we need some headroom down there. We don't want to have a crawl space, so to speak, in there. So definitely we can look into that for sure.
Okay. If possible, we'd like to discuss further with the applicant, with DEC and engineering.
Yes, definitely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
How are you?
Hi.
The elevator is going
Yes.
down to the basement,
Yes,
which means you're going down another 4 feet for the elevator?
that
5
would be
feet?
right.
So you'd be into the groundwater with the elevator?
Possibly.
Any other questions? I have a question. Are you familiar with the Great South Bay Shopping Center in West Babylon?
Is that on the north side of the service road, the
No, in
Sunrise?
West Babylon, Mr. Constantino on Merrick Road, Montauk Highway?
Yes, that's where,
At the Tudor looking?
is that where that Marshall's is? And those-
Yes, yes. There used to be an A&S there.
Correct.
Years ago. For those of us who spent their life on the South Shore, as I have, I know every inch of that shopping center because we thought it was a big deal to go there. And there was also a beautiful store called Martin's. The reason why I bring that up is that one of the tenants that succeeded A&S found that there was some water seeping into the basement, so they decided that they would put a sump pump in there. Well, it turns out that that was a very high water table area, not at the time that A&S was built, but at the time that water started seeping in. When they punched through the foundation of the basement, there was a geyser, to the point where the West Babylon Fire Department had to be called in there with their super pumpers just to get it under control so they could pack it with a very special concrete that would seal it eventually. So this is not something for you to be, and I'm not suggesting this for a second, but to think that it'll be
yes.
good enough.
I understand,
And
yes.
you made it clear based on your testimony that you're looking, very, very carefully at how that basement floor will be constructed, and its ability to withstand, any leaks and to be sealed in a variety of different ways. So I just share that story with you only because we've seen too many situations in Babylon over the years. And this planning board takes it very seriously when we get recommendations about going deeper into the possible groundwater or getting close to the groundwater, because as that area in Carls River and all that whole watershed area, it goes up and down depending on the amount of rain and other factors.
I understand, Mr. Chairman. We'll further look into that.
Yeah, please do. Any other questions? No? All right, well, hopefully your client will never have to call the Deer Park Fire Department.
Yes.
Especially when you're going 4 feet down further for that elevator. All right, are there any other questions? No? Okay, is there anyone from the public that would like to address the board regarding this application? Sir?
Let me just say one
Is there
thing
something
about
else
the
you wanna
elevator
add?
pit. There's other elevator methods that we really wouldn't need a pit. There's friction type, where it would just be a slab, so 4 feet would be kind of drastic going down there, but there's other systems that we can use that we don't need a plunger pretty much to go down there. It might be recessed a foot, which would kind of be the bottom of where that column footing would be, so it wouldn't be that deep.
Okay, thank you. All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, Gail,
Yes, sir.
come on up. Please state your name and address for the record.
Gail Mascaro, 522 Poplar Street, North Babylon, New York,
Do you swear to tell the
11703.
truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Please proceed.
Good evening, everyone. First, I want to say I have not been paid, coerced, threatened in any way to say what I'm going to say. The building has been a terrible eyesore. It's attracted a lot of bums and various activity at night. What the neighborhood would like is to have a complete barrier of a plastic fence and the 2 gates to be locked at night. I have had problems in the past, and I've spoken with Mr. Khalid, and he's been an unbelievable neighbor towards us. Any problems we've had, he's addressed fully, and we just want to make sure that that stays protected and the area is free of any kind of criminal activity at night. We love the building.
Do you
And
like
that's
the
it.
design?
Yes, it's beautiful.
Okay, Matt, can you pull up the site plan again? What are the requirements for the fencing and any landscaping that would be of interest to the neighbors? All right, could the applicant come back? Is there anybody, do you want to speak to it?
No.
Okay, thank you very much.
She
Well,
is a neighbor, though, and she's in complete agreement.
Okay. All right, thank you. Can the applicant come on back and talk about the landscaping and the privacy?
I'm sorry, Mr. Chairman, I didn't hear the question.
No, the question, the point that was made by the last person to provide testimony was that they look forward to this building being built, but they of course want to have enough privacy, screening between the building, its parking, and all of that, and the adjacent homes.
Well, Mr. Chairman, there is a residential buffer zone to the east that's fully fenced, solid fence, plantings. The landscape plan we didn't send you, but we have a paper version that would show that. So that's where we were required to have the fence. Along the two streets is basically like the front of a house where it's a curb, a sidewalk, and some landscaping. We didn't want to shield it because I think that would create some kind of lurking behind a fence
I think
for safety.
Yeah, no, look, our planning staff does a great job working with applicants in terms of the appropriate kind of landscaping, given whether it's a road or, in this case, part of it is
Yes.
next to a residential area. What type of fence are you planning for the residential area? Do you know?
I believe it's a PVC fence.
Matt, do we know?
Or is it the 6 foot? Could be a
Take-
chain link with vertical slats.
Take your time. You're the only public hearing we have, so no rush. I just want to get it on the record.
Let me look at. We'll do whatever the board wants, most likely. We kind of put the fence that was directed to us on the planning stage.
All right, Matt,
So-
you'll go over what you,
The standard planning board specification is a black chain link. I don't know what the applicants proposed in this scenario.
the applicant said they'll do whatever we want. We want to make sure it's something that's very attractive for the neighbors. So that is your mission? To work that out. Are you good with that, Mr. Constantino? Is your applicant good with that? Yes. Okay, good. All right, then we're good for it. Dan?
And during the off hours, what type of security is going to be done with the site? Is there going to be cameras installed? Is there going to be a security personnel that
I
drives
wouldn't know
by every
about
so
that.
often?
The applicant. Did you fill out it?
Khalid Nouri,
Please state your name and address for the record.
Khalid Nouri, 1231 Deer Park Avenue, North Babylon, New York.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, please proceed.
So currently, I think if I'm not mistaken, the property have 3 different exits. So I think we closed one of the exits. So we'll have an exit to the south and one to north. So our plan, hopefully, is to have a gate on both sides. And at nighttime, these gates will be closed. So we will have some sort of fence. If a white fence is required or desired, we could easily put white fence, or we could put chain link fence enforced with trees as well. So either way, but we have a similar facility close by where we have gates, and at nighttime, these gates get closed. In addition to just be a gate, the whole facility is armed with cameras. So they'll have security cameras not only internally in the building, but also the surrounding as well. So we have a recording of everything 24/7.
Anybody have any questions? Oh, that's good to know. Okay. Anything else you'd like to add?
No, I'm good.
All right.
But thank you, we'll take care of it.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much. All right. If there, let's see, just looking for something. That's okay. Thank you. Okay. All right. Well, since I'm going to ask for a motion to close the public hearing and reserve decision. Let's see. Motion by, who's in that area? You're in North Babylon, okay. Motion by Dan, second by Ed. Second. All in favor? The public hearing is now closed. The decision has also been reserved in order for us to review the feedback that we received this evening and any open plan issues like the fencing and anything else. The record will remain open for written comments. To follow up on the status of the application or to submit additional written requirements, you can contact the planning department in a number of ways. The first is in person. The planning is located on the west wing of Town Hall. Application documents and plans are available for inspection between the hours of 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. or by phone, 631-957-3103, or by email, planning comments, that's one word, planning comments, @townofbabylonny.gov. Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, that concludes our public hearing, and we will terminate the live stream. We will now go into our work session.